Yo, welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC video. I'm your host, Jose Rocks. Today we have another episode of Journey Through VGC. The current format we in is Regulation D. Y'all ready? Let's get into it.
Alright, our first match of the day, we have Dondozo. So, this team was a pretty popular team back in Regulation C. And it also just won a recent online tournament too. So it's still pretty good. I wonder if it's that same team that won the tournament. Either way, I think Amoonguss is good here because I can continue to click Leaf Storm into Dondozo. But how do we deal with the Chien-Pao, Dragonite, or Flutter Mane Chi-Yu lead? I think my Landorus is good on lead. Landorus, Flutter Mane. Yeah, I kind of like that with Goggles Iron Hands in the back. Yeah, I like that. Don't like Water Urshifu into the Dondozo. While it can do about 50%, probably with, the Surging Strikes, Water Tera, I don't think that, it helps me beat Dondozo the way I need it to. I also feel like Chien-Pao's a little bit too frail without the Focus Sash here. Alright, so Chi-Yu, Flutter Mane. Oh my gosh, Trick Room would be amazing here. I could try to remove Flutter Mane. It's speed, so it's not doing that much damage. Or I can move Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu might be, more of an issue. I think I'll try it. I'll go for it, see if I get it. Icy Wind. Ooh, the Icy Wind is strong. Okay. I probably should have Tera it there. I just Snarl. We survive on both. Nice. So we do get the Trick Room up, so that's nice. How much is doing the Chi-Yu? Alright, Chi-Yu's gone. And now we're slower, so Trick Room benefits us because he went for Icy Wind. And now I can switch in Amoonguss pretty safely now that Chi-Yu's gone. He probably expected Choice Specs. And Landorus took that Icy Wind plus Snarl pretty well with the Assault Vest. Alright, so it's Chien-Pao Dragonite in the back. So he didn't bring Dondozo. I think I want to switch in Amoonguss here. So I can put the Dragonite to sleep and protect. Yeah, Dragonite going to sleep will be good for us. Alright, so it might just be Choice Band E-Speed. That probably was a chance for me to go for a Gleam right there. Yeah. Oh, he didn't go for the Tera though. Oh, it's just Aqua Jet, so he's trying to take out my Flutter. Okay. I want to sport a Dragonite. He could go for Icicle Crash, right? I think I want a Tera Spore. Switch out an Iron Hands. Alright, that's a good switch. I should have spored Chien-Pao, but maybe it protects. Flutter Mane's taking a nap. And if he protects here, then we can double that slot next turn. But this Tera was just a cover for Icicle Crash, you know, one shot in Amoonguss. This Dragonite is pretty key in this battle. He Icicle Crash that slot, okay. We can spore this slot and wild charge this slot. So he's doing a good job installing out Trick Room. Trick Room was good for us here. We just had to play this properly. But his Dragonite, once we KO a Pokemon, it's gonna be locked into one move. Alright, so that's gone. Alright, we get our berry. So this should keep us out of range of Choice Band E-Speed. And we can Drain Punch Chien-Pao. And then I'm gonna Spore Dragonite. If he locks in the E-Speed, then he can't hit the Flutter Mane. Actually, if I get this off, I can just... Yeah, I can just KO Chien-Pao. If it doesn't wake up, then we just get a KO here. Oh, my opponent cancels. Nice. Beautiful. This team. Holy. I think the game wasn't over yet, though. If he got to wake up and protect it, and he Choice Band E-Speeded my Iron Hands, then next turn, you know, he can attack the Iron Hands. I think Trick Room ended, and then E-Speed the Amoonguss. I think he was in a decent spot, like just offensively. But that was a good match. Let's get into the next one. All right. Is this the Cybertron team? So he has Chien-Pao, Urshifu. I don't think it is. Indeedee, Armor Rouge, Sneasler, and Dragonite. I wonder if his Choice Scarf Urshifu would U-turn into Armor Rouge. That could be pretty scary. Sneasler with Indeedee and Rock Slide is also pretty scary, right? If I leave Flutter Mane Chien-Pao, then my opponent has a really good team here. They want to go Urshifu, Flutter Mane. I don't think he's going the Trick Room route. I'll bring Iron Hands. Landorus. Without Chien-Pao though, I kind of lose to Psychic Spam. But if it is the Psychic Spam, I could protect and Trick Room. Okay, Dragonite. I'm pretty sure it's weak armor. So I'll go for Trick Room plus Surging Strikes. Yeah, he definitely weak armor. Yep. And the thing is, he could switch in Indeedee and then sweep me, but I'm going for Trick Room, so I'll be faster than him. And I can just dazzle him wing. I wonder what Dragonite's going for, because it didn't Tera, it just stayed in here. I wonder if it was going for like an Earthquake. It is Earthquake, okay. So I've seen this strategy before. Yep, that's why we set up Trick Room. Alright, so I want to bring Landorus here. Surging Strikes, Amoonguss, get rid of that. Because now it can't play under Trick Room like it want. And I had a feeling that it wanted to do that. When they usually lead Amoonguss without like Indeedee, then it's usually the weak armor strategy. If they lead Amoonguss with Indeedee, then it's usually Trick Room. He should bring in Indeedee here. Oh, he stays in. I mean, Dragonite's tearing, flying. Oh man, if he underspeeds me, then this is, I should have Aqua Jetted. He does. Ooh. That's not good. Okay. But we're still in this. He's not locked into a move either. Switch back out in the Flutter Mane. I should have Aqua Jetted. My opponent's playing so good. He's not getting baited into it. Yeah, he's not getting baited into what I'm trying to do here. Him not being choice locked was kind of bad for me because I expected him to be locked in the Earthquake, and he wasn't. He did that to get around probably the wild charge. Earthquake here is strong. Yeah, Earthquake here is strong. But I think we can take it better than we would take a the Tera Blast because it's stab plus the Tera, and this Earthquake is not stabbed or choice banded. And so we do intimidate him, right? So we should be able to take Earthquake relatively well. Oh, he's Rocky Helmet. Yep, he Tera Blast. He target Flutter Mane. This Dragonite's dominating me right now. Yeah, it not being choice lock kind of threw me off. I don't know if we can win this game unless he just doesn't go for follow me. Yeah. It's always safe. My opponent is making a lot of reads right now. All right. I think we can KO Dragonite here and make it a 2v1. Unless he targets Flutter Mane here. Yeah, he does. Okay. So this may KO, but it's gonna do a lot of recoil. Yeah. Depending on what his last one is, it's gonna be tough. Sneasler. What does he go for here? Dire Claw. Yeah, there's no point in tearing here. My only way is to survive this, which I think I can, and get a crit wild charge. Could we survive? Did we KO? Oh, so close. Yeah, it's so close. Had I took out the Armor Rouge properly, and not took all that damage on my Landorus, I think it would have been a really good spot. Yeah, I think the way that I won that match is if I take out the Armor Rouge with Aqua Jet instead of reading him switching in Indeedee, because that's what I was doing, right? But I could have still, his Armor Rouge still outsped me, because I still could have clicked that and then just Dazzling Gleam to break the multi-scale on Dragonite, and then just let it KO Urshifu and then bring in Landorus fully healthy. I think would have been in a much better spot. But let's get into the next one. All right, next match we have Sylveon, Scizor, Chien-Pao, Cresselia, Iron Hands, and Dragapult. So he doesn't have speed, tailwind pressure. I think if he leaves Dragapult plus Chien-Pao, I think this is good into that. I think my Amoonguss is good if he sets up Trick Room. Iron Hands is relatively good here, just being bulky and able to kind of wall the Scizor. So I know I want to bring these two, so it's out of these three. Landorus is good into his Iron Hands, and the Assault Vest helps me against Sylveon. These kind of just fall to Sylveon, right? Chien-Pao is really only beating Dragapult. Urshifu, yeah, I think it's Landorus. I think I want to lead these two. Iron Hands, Flutter Mane, Landorus, and Amoonguss in the back. Alright, so Scizor, Dragapult. I think Dragapult goes for a Phantom Force here. That's probably KO and everything. So I should let it hit my Flutter Mane and bring me down to Sash. Fake out this. I'd be surprised if Dragapult doesn't go for Phantom Force. Oh, Covert Cloak. That's cool tech. It's just Dragon Darts. Wow. Oh, didn't expect that. Covert Cloak kind of changed this. Oh wow, it's not even Bandit. So that was a read. I'm not sure what's coming in here. His own Iron Hands. Okay. I think I just let my Flutter Mane go down here. I think I want to detect just so I don't get faked out in Dragon Darts. So he has Light Screen Reflect. I wonder if he has a ghost type attack. He has Nightshade. Just Shadow Ball it. Okay, but his Dragapult's not outputting that much damage. Alright. We don't have good damage in the Dragapult. Outside of Landorus. They want to get Landorus in here. Intimidate the Iron Hands. Cresselia, okay. Cresselia's might be safety goggles the way he switched it in for Iron Hands. That's a good switch. Crit. Alright, now we need to go ahead and remove Dragapult while we have the damage. I think Cresselia is safety goggles. So I want to switch back out on the Iron Hands. Actually, let me try to Sport just in case, because I think I can Pollen Puff my Iron Hands. And now Tera Blast Dragapult, because he may go for Lunar Blessing. I don't know if this KO's Dragapult though. My Urshifu would actually been really good here. I had a feeling he was switching that out. Okay. Alright, so we got that call, right? And then we put it to sleep. Alright, so he made Tera it here. Reflect wears off nice. They're going to Pollen Puff Landorus U-turn. It should be going to grass. If it's water, then that's something different. Flying, okay. So now he's weak to rocks. Now he's weak to my Iron Hands too. If we can get rid of everything and ignore Cresselia, I think we can win that way. Get my Iron Hands healed back up. I wonder, does he have Tera Blast? Heavy Slam, okay. He can easily read a Wild Charge into the Amoonguss slot, right? Thinking I want to switch out. Is it worth it? Taking that damage on Landorus? They're going to Sport his slot just in case he survives. Wild Charge it. Ah, that's a good play. Yeah, that covers for me switching. I should have switched. Yeah, he doubled that slot though. Ah, yeah, he didn't even go for the Wild Charge. Alright. Well, like I said, I should have switched out Amoonguss there. I feel like the Landorus switch in was kind of obvious. And his Dragapult is Curse Body. So we can try to remove it here. Reflect is annoying though because he can deal damage with Cresselia. Okay. But we do have our Sitrus Berry still. Oh, he's Psychic that slot. Alright, so he's trying to put me in range of Bullet Punch. I think Tera Blast is doing more to I don't think Wild Charge KOs Scizor. And it can't get 2 attacks off, so I want to make sure I double into it. Wild Charge Cresselia again. Not double into it, but yeah, we should survive. To get another Tera Blast off in the Cresselia. And if we went for Lunar Blessing here, then we're in even better shape. Which is Psychic. We should survive. Okay. 52 down to 25. So I did 27 damage. Get a Tera Blast off here. Wild Charge. Protect on Landorus would have been really good here to help stall out the Reflect. My opponent's team is pretty cool, man. The Dragapult threw me way off. I think I would have won the game immediately had I just went for Shadow Ball that turn 1. If we survive this, that should be game. But it does crit, so okay. I think it was a roll though to survive that. Another thing I could have potentially went for was Rock Slide Flinch, but I don't know if that's worth it. Alright, so you can Lunar Blessing. How many turns of screens are left though? 2. How much is that healing it back? Okay. So he is staying in range, and my Sitrus Berry should help me survive a Psychic. So once screens in next turn, I should be able to KO him with Wild Charge. Oh, he just went for Psychic. He didn't even go for it. Whew, close. Yep, another one with a KO for sure. Nice, but we figured out a way to get this win. Let's go. That was a tough game, but this team just has so many tools, man. Even when you know, at a disadvantage. The Covert Cloak Scizor caught me off guard. It was pretty cool. But I think I still could have won the game immediately had I not allowed him to read it to me, protecting Flutter Mane, and just Shadow Ball Dragapult when he went for Reflect and switched out Scizor, right? Or U-turn with Scizor. Yeah, Covert Cloak is pretty cool for when people think they can fake out, so you can't, you know, bullet punch the Flutter Mane and it still just bullet punch you. I think that's pretty unique. Alright, we have Rillaboom, Arcanine, Rotom. Okay, I wonder if that's Water Urshifu. Excuse me. Urshifu, Tornadus, and Flutter Mane. I think getting Trick Room up in my opponent's face is pretty good. Iron Hands. Take advantage of the Trick Room. Landorus. And how do I deal with Router? I think Leaf Storm Amoonguss is actually good. Yeah. I may be selling a bit, not bringing Chien-Pao. I think he has to bring Rotom here. So I think the Leaf Storm on Amoonguss would be really good for that. Urshifu Dark. Okay. So this is an easy Trick Room. Fake out. Break the Sash. If he tailwinds here, he's in a really bad spot. Especially if he's reading me being the World Championship team. So we know that's Tera. It's probably Poison or Steel. Yep, Poison. Now you're weak to Landorus. Oh, he does Tailwind. Beautiful. Free Trick Room. Alright, I kinda wanna get Landorus in here. Wild Charge Tornadus. Beautiful. And that's the thing. So he probably thought I was Specs. And so the next turn he would be able to go for Bleak Wind plus like Wicked Blow, right? No, he taunted that slide. That's strange. Is it Wicked Blow here? I might have should have went into Amoonguss. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Does he have a flying type? He has Rillaboom and Rotom. I think I'll go for Rock Slide here. And Wild Charge this slot. It should switch out. Not switching out is insane there. Oh, he survives it. Boy, that's a super bulky Tornadus. Does he miss on Landers? Okay, perfect. So we need to go out into Amoonguss and start the Pollen Puff. He's doing work under even while Trick Room's up though. His Pokemon are really bulky though. I didn't expect Tornadus to be able to take a Rock Slide and a Wild Charge. It's a good switch. Alright. Alright, there's Sucker Punch. Alright, tail one's over. Wild Charge did about, I think Drain Punch KOs from there. So they want a Pollen Puff, my Iron Hands. Drain Punch Arcanine. He protects, okay. That's a good protect. I think we have one more turn of Trick Room left, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so he either brings in Tornadus or he brings in his last one. Oh, that's the last turn of Trick Room, okay. I think it's fine. Because we pressure with a knockout. Alright. He could Flare Blitz and Moonblast, right? So I think we'll Spore Flutter Mane. Nah, I'm too low health to go for that play. I think I'll let him take Amoonguss. Tera. Drain Punch you. Yeah, because I feel like if he goes for a Gleam and Flare Blitz, that might still be enough to pick up the KO. Yeah, Shadow Ball. Alright. Yeah, so that was the cover for me, Tera and Amoonguss, right? So I think we went for the right play. Although I didn't need the Tera Iron Hands there. I don't think he's gonna go for another Tailwind. He could taunt Flutter Mane though. I think I'm just gonna go for Gleam and Wild Charge, and that should seal up the game. Yeah, he doesn't even go for Tailwind. Yeah, that's gonna be game. Yeah, you Shadow Ball me, but I'm Sash, so nice. And I think my sets just completely messed my opponent up, you know? I do think you never go for Tailwind like that in front of Iron Hands Flutter Mane unless you know that it's a Choice Spec Flutter Mane, right? So that's, you know, him reading into this being the World's team. Nice. And we seal that game up. I think he could have went for like maybe just Tailwind, but I think I still just knocked him out Wild Charge anyway. So I think his best play was to expect me to go for a Trick Room, not go for Taunt, let me go for Trick Room, and then like double KO Flutter Mane, right? Or pick up Bleak Wind to double hit connect on Iron Hands and Flutter Mane, and then just knock out my Flutter Mane, right? And then I bring in Landorus, and then, you know, he can Tailwind from that point. But I still, even if he goes for that and knocks out Flutter Mane, and while I try to set up Trick Room, and I just knock out Flutter Mane with a Wild Charge, then his Tornadus, maybe he can double connect Bleak Wind, and since I'm not Assault Vest, another Bleak Wind KOs Iron Hands and Landorus, but he has to hit both. So I guess that was his win con. But let's get into one final game. Ooh, so we have Heatran, Wo-Chien, Landorus, Thundurus, Urshifu, and Flutter Mane. I wonder if this is Joe's team that he took to Worlds. And he might have finally put out a running code for it, I'm not 100% sure. I think that it is. Not 100% sure though. But if it is, then it's Choice Specs Flutter Mane. I guess Wo-Chien is pretty scary for my Urshifu. With us not having close combat. So I kind of don't even want to bring it. But if we do remove Wo-Chien, it is good into the rest of his team. So I'll lead this. Chien-Pao, Landorus, Urshifu, Iron Hands. I think Flutter Mane could be okay here. But I want to force something to Tera turn 1. I want to put on pressure, get his Teras out so I can play the game the way I want to after that. His Urshifu on lead would be pretty scary. But it is Wo-Chien Landorus. Alright, so he's threatened immensely. I think I'm in a good position to go for Icicle Crash on a Landorus and U-turn into Wo-Chien. There's a Tera. It's Landorus. It is flying. Okay. So do you survive a -1, but this is Life Orb, Icicle Crash, Adamant. Ah, we miss. That's huge. He U-turns me. Okay. My opponent got blessed there with the miss. But that's the downside to running Icicle Crash, that you can miss. Alright, so Flutter Mane comes out. We do about 50 to Wo-Chien. He is Sitrus. Alright. I wonder if it's just a foul play into Chien-Pao or Giga Drain. I bring up Iron Hands. He can't Tera anymore. It is foul play. Okay. I think I just want a wild charge. Tera wild charge. Actually, I may need to save my Tera. So I protect. He has to go after Chien-Pao with Dazzling Gleam, right? I think this goes into Landorus. That's a tough read to make, but oh, he didn't go for it. Okay. Oh wow, that's a super hard read. Giga Drain that slot. Okay. My opponent's playing this really well. This is a chance for me to get off a Drain Punch. Yeah, the Icicle Crash hitting turn 1 would have been so big for me because I'm taking a lot of damage. I got that last turn wrong. I don't know if you turn in here into Voilet is to play. I need to try to remove Voilet. Urshifu Surging Strikes is so good here though. I think I just go for Rock Slide and let him take this out. Yeah, okay. So a flincher would be good. It should be, because next turn I can U-turn and Icicle Crash Landorus. Whew, that's just a lot of damage. But now I can U-turn, KO Voilet. I can pick up a double KO here potentially. I haven't seen my opponent's fourth, but Flutter Mane really doesn't want to switch in here. He could have Heatran. So I'm gonna U-turn here. Icicle Crash Landorus. We gotta hit this though. Alright, so we take out his Landorus. Nice. This should be a double KO. And now we get our Urshifu next to Chien-Pao. And I can go for Surging Strikes. And he already uses Tera, so if his Heatran, he's in a really bad spot. I'm actually gonna Sucker Punch Flutter Mane if it's Heatran, just in case it's Thunderbolt, Trust-Based Thunderbolt. Would he bring Heatran though? It's either Thundurus, Heatran, or Urshifu. It might be Urshifu. Oh, it's Thundurus. Okay, that's interesting. I can Surging Strikes. Actually, I can Detect here. Actually, I can just Surging Strikes here. Tera Chien-Pao to survive a Gleam. Icicle Crash Thundurus. I might have should have just Sucker Punch. Or it's Thunder Wave. Gleam. Or we survive with both. Alright. We get Icicle Crash off nice. So we lose Chien-Pao here, but we KO Thundurus. We need to get Surging Strikes off right here. I could have just went for Sucker Punch. Yes, we get Surging Strikes off though. Nice. Is that enough to KO? It's not. Ooh, it's close. We gotta go for Aqua Jet. I don't know if Landorus can take the. We have a little bit of HP left with the Salt Vest. It comes down to full para, right? And we get it off. Let's go. Let's go. That was scary. I think turn 2 when I went for the crazy read of Wild Charge into the Voilet. I think that was a bit too hard of a read, but I really saw him, you know, thinking I would Tera my Iron Hands to eat whatever Flutter Mane was going for, and switching Wo-Chien out into Landorus, which Landorus is good into Iron Hands and it's Tera flying. So it would resist my Drain Punch, and then it pressures me with Tera flying next turn, Tera Blast. So I felt like Landorus coming in right there was a really good switch for my opponent. Him not having Urshifu or Heatran in the back definitely helped, because he really had no switch-ins for Icicle Crash, right? His entire team was Icicle Crash weak, and I think if we would have just hit it turn 1, I think this game would have been over. Because I have Life Orb that somewhat mitigates, it doesn't completely mitigate the Intimidate, but it somewhat mitigates it. So that I think I would have still been able to pick up the KO with me being Adamant Chien-Pao. And the Poison Tera was really clutch to help us survive that Gleam with 5%. And not getting fully paralyzed there was huge for us, because a full para there, either one of those turns, I think we probably lose that game. But all right, that's gonna be it for this. So I want to get into a final review with this team, and then all right, final review with this team. This team has been, you know, my favorite team I've made this year. I think it's really fun. I think the mind games from making it look like the team that's really popular right now that just won Worlds makes this team really strong. The Landorus set, the Assault Vest was very clutch, and dealing with a lot of like special attackers, and we were able to survive attacks that a lot of of our opponents probably think that we won't survive, like the Icy Wind onto Landorus. If that was just Safety Goggles Landorus, I think that it just goes down probably along with Flutter Mane and the Flutter Mane doesn't get much damage off with the Snarl, right? So just being able to be bulky to survive that and then threaten the KO back is just really good for Landorus. This team is really cool. The Life Orb Chien-Pao, really cool set, really powerful. This Chien-Pao does so much damage, right? And the only thing that really slows this team down is screens, but I didn't really run into screens like that. But you do have a way to burst through it with the Sword Stance and certain strikes or Urshifu. But screens plus Gastrodon would be a nightmare for this team. We do have ways to remove Gastrodon with Leaf Storm, but you have to position Amoonguss properly to get it. And one Protect on Gastrodon to scout out a Leaf Storm, and then the Terror could just be nightmarish. But other than that, I didn't really see a lot of weaknesses that this team had. It's hard to kind of play around Trick Room Flutter Mane when this team doesn't look like the team that has Trick Room on it, right? So that makes it really good against hyper offense tailwind teams, because getting Landorus, Urshifu, Iron Hands, Adamant Chien-Pao, which is slower than the regular Chien-Pao, and max speed Flutter Mane in Trick Room is just really valuable for this team. Plus Amoonguss just being able to threaten like spores and things like that is just really good for this team. And I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of matches that I felt like my opponent played turn 1 and turn 2 better than me, but the power of this team and the good typings that it has and the amount of strength that it has just allows you to play out of those bad situations and have a lot of time for comeback. And the Iron Hands is really clutch. Detect didn't come out too much for me, but if you're using this team, you might find a lot of situations to where the Detect can actually save you in some of the games. And also, like, the Amoonguss having a Rocky Helmet was, really clutch as well. I didn't really get a situation to where I needed the Safety Goggles on Urshifu as well, but I do know that it could come up. I didn't go against that many Amoonguss, right? And when I did, I kind of removed them with Icicle Crash. So it didn't come into play that much to where you really needed the Safety Goggles on Urshifu, but I know that if you use this team more, it will be, it has more chances for it to come into effect. But that's going to be it for this team. And if you guys like it, there's a rental code at the top right, as well as a PokePaste in the description below. And leave a comment for me. Let me know if you like, these remixes where I take a team that's common and remix it and, just change the sets and just have fun winning on the ladder with it. And let me know if you use this team, how high you can get on the ladder with it. So that's going to be it. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right, deuces.